Calamina. Good morning. It is, I've got to be honest, rather a windy morning this morning. I've got a lovely little message from the lovely Amanda. She said, morning Ginge, Tuesday's weather, a small drop in temperature today, sunny with cloud, highs of 24 degrees, will feel like 25. It's windy also, it's very windy at Ali Canaz, and it's also very windy here. She also said as well, it was quite windy where she lives, just up the road from us last night, but I've got to be honest, we didn't feel much wind, but it was pretty chilly last night here in Zakynthos. So this is the weather today. We have got blue sky. I'm not sure if you're getting a lot of the sound of wind as I'm broadcasting. People will probably let me know. But this is the weather today. Lovely blue skies at the moment. But as you can see, it is a bit roughly at the moment. Anyway, what's happening then at the moment? Well, we've got, first of all, it is the first of the month. Can you believe it? It's the 1st of June. Where has the time gone? And Jane is back to work full time today. So she's off down to the office at Fidelity. And it's going to be interesting to see what she's going to be up to. She doesn't even know herself what she's got lined up. But anyway, as for arrivals today, quite an interesting arrivals this morning and throughout the day. Believe it or not, we've got 3 flights in today from Athens. We've also got 2 flights in from Prague. We've also got 1 flight in from Venice. Yeah, the Italians are coming from Venice. And we've also got 1 flight from Corfu passing in as well. So that's quite interesting. But I just got to say a quick thank you to the lovely Heather Harvey Green over who runs a Facebook page called We Love Syllabi. Thank you for your endorsement yesterday, my lovely. And can I also thank the lovely Julie who basically posted this yesterday. And I think it's important that we get this message out about the confusion that still seems to be reigning at the moment as to what is going on, where we stand with the UK coming to Zakynthos. Anyway, she posted yesterday, the lovely Julie, holiday cancellations between the 17th of May and the 27th of June 2021. And in this message that she got from TUI, she says, updated Thursday 27th of May 2021 at 7:30 at night. We want to offer our customers flexibility and choice this summer. So where borders are open, the FCDO, which is the Foreign Office, Foreign Commonwealth and Thingy Office, advice allows travel. We will operate to those destinations. We are constantly reviewing our holiday program and cancellations in line with government updates every 3 weeks, with the next update due in early June. Due to ongoing uncertainty, we have unfortunately had to cancel all holidays to the following red and amber destinations, including up till the 13th of June, including Aruba, Croatia, Cyprus, Greece, which includes Hania, which is in Crete, Kefalonia, Prevsa, Samos, Santorini, Skiathos, Tassos, and also Zante as well. They also said that they're cancelling trips to Italy and Jamaica, Spain, Tanzania, and this was actually from TUI that said that as well. So at the moment, still the confusion reigns. We know we had TUI flights in, it was EasyJet in last week. We're still trying to find out. I did hear a rumour, but it's not been confirmed, that one of the flights only had 8 people on board. So again, the mystery thickens as to what is going to occur at the moment, and we're just still waiting for Boris to make some kind of announcement. Anyway, within the last 24 hours, COVID is sort of kind of, shall we say, bouncing a little bit here in Greece. COVID infections were up today from 907 the other day reported to 1,007. Not up by a lot, but 1,007 new infections recorded across the country, bringing the total amount of infections at the moment to 402,306 since the pandemic started. Anyway, when it comes to cases being identified into entries into ports at the moment, one case was identified after checks into the country, which was good because that was down on the day before where we had 5. Now, when it comes to the national stats on infections for the Ionian Islands, there's been no new cases recorded in Macardo. There's been no new cases recorded in Kefalonia. Now, Corfu has only had 6 new cases recorded. And if you remember, Corfu's had quite a high rate of infection, actually, and their infection rate seems to have dropped down to 6 new cases. And also for Zakynthos at the moment, no new cases of any COVID infections recorded nationally on the statistics, and nothing in the local statistics either to say that they have found any cases as well. So that's good news for us. So we're actually starting the month of June with a clean bill of health. And the end of May, we had about 38 cases here on the island, which is good in comparison to April, where we had 177, and in March we had 184. In February we had 70, and January we had 30. So again, that is boding well for our epidemiology data. So hopefully that will stand us in good stead at some time. Now, when it comes to deaths across the country, unfortunately, deaths are up. Last time I reported to you 30 deaths. Unfortunately, we've had 41 new deaths within the last 24 hours across Greece. Again, that brings the death rate now up to 12,095 since the pandemic started. 96% of those people had underlying health problems or were over the age of 70 years of age. And once again, our condolences to the families that are affected by the passing of loved ones. Zakynthos, just to remind you, for the month of May, we had 3 deaths here on the island. We had an 85-year-old man, a 70-year-old woman, and a 70-year-old man died from COVID. On the month before, which was in April, we had 4 deaths. An 88-year-old woman, a 65-year-old man, a 75-year-old woman, and also an 88-year-old man. And before that, in March, we had 2 deaths, a 74-year-old woman and an 80-year-old woman as well. And in February, we had 1 death, which was a 70-year-old woman. So all in all, our death rate here has been very, very low on Zakynthos. So hopefully that will stand us in good stead with our epidemiology statistics. And once again, our condolences to those families that were affected by the passing of loved ones here on Zakynthos. Now, when it comes to critical cases, they've actually dropped as well here in Greece, which is kind of a good sign. Again, we're not sure how many of those people passed away or actually got better and were moved into a lower grade observational ward. But anyway, at the moment, the figure stands across Greece. It was 497 people in ICUs across the country. That number is now dropped down to 481, of which 290 are male and 191 are female. And once again, the average age of people in critical care at the moment is 68 years of age. And 83% of those have underlying health issues or over the age of 70. So we will go and see. At the moment, there's no information if anybody here in Zakynthos is in critical care at the moment. That has not been reported on in quite a while. Now, as for today's news then, scientific advisor on the UK government's COVID panel, he has voiced concerns over the growing number of cases linked to the Indian variant and believes that ending restrictions in the UK on June the 21st should be postponed. Anyway, yesterday the UK reported more than 3,000 new COVID infections for the 5th successive day. Well, I'm hoping that is not going to happen because obviously we want tourism to reopen here and we are a safe place to come. And if people are checked and people are vaccinated and people have to have a test before they can travel, then there should be no problem with people coming away on their holidays. And from what I've seen of everything at the moment with the media and with the press in the UK, people do want to get away, get out of the country, go on holiday, recharge their batteries before they go back to face whatever future they have for the rest of the year. Anyway, interestingly as well, at the same time, the European Commission said on Monday that the reduction in deliveries of COVID-19 vaccines from Johnson & Johnson to EU member states was only temporary, and the company was still due to meet its contract for a total doses by the end of this year. Now, member states were informed of certain delays when it comes to the delivery of the Johnson & Johnson shots, which the good thing about the Johnson & Johnson, it's only one shot if you want to be vaccinated. However, they expressed concern. A spokesman for the European Union executive told a news conference, the way we understand it, it is that it is a temporary reduction in deliveries, and we can expect to see an increase in deliveries of doses soon. We are still working on the basis of a hypothesis that we're going to have the number of doses agreed on the whole of the second or third quarters. So again, a slowdown of vaccine deliveries, which obviously will mean a slowdown in vaccinations for those people who want it. And also the other danger is those people that don't want it, this vaccine will sit around and probably end up being destroyed. But anyway, we'll keep an eye on that story, and we will see how that plays out. Now, also at the same time, the European Commission proposed on Monday that fully vaccinated people should be exempt from testing. I quite agree with that. Or from quarantine when travelling from one EU country to another, and urges a gradual easing of travel measures as COVID-19 vaccinations accelerate. 1 minute they're slowing down, the next minute they say they're accelerating. Anyway, the bloc reached a deal earlier this month on COVID-19 certificates that will show via a QR code whether a person has received a vaccine, had a recent negative test, or has immunity based on recovery from an infection. Anyway, they say that this scheme should be ready by July the 1st. The European Union executive, which is seeking to harmonise the current patchwork of travel measurements across the bloc, said on Monday that according to its recommendation, testing or quarantine should not apply to people who have been fully vaccinated 14 days prior to travel. About half of the EU adults have received their first dose. People who have recovered from COVID-19 infections should be exempt from restrictions for 180 days. Anyway, the Commission also proposed that the more reliable but more expensive PCR tests should be valid for 72 hours and rapid antigen tests for 48 hours. Anyways, children who are not yet in line for vaccinations should not have to undergo a quarantine if travelling with parents who are exempt. Those aged 6 and older can be subject to tests. Anyway, the proposals which are being put to EU member states mirrors those already agreed for travel to the European Union outside the bloc. So again, we're going to wait and see if basically these vaccination certificates will have any impact on British tourists coming here. At the moment, the way Mitsotakis is talking, if you're vaccinated and if you have a negative test, you can come, no trouble whatsoever. And at the moment, it's not so much people coming over, it's about people getting back. And obviously, as you know, Greece is on the amber at the moment in the eyes of the British government. And that means if you do come over and stay, and you do some time here, you go home, that's 10 days quarantine, a test before you leave, and another 2 tests while in quarantine. And I've got to be honest, I have had people calling me, letting me know that they're coming over. Some of them are just prepared to sit it out and say, right, if I've made it here, I will just sit it out and I will see what transpires. At least I have 90 days on my passport to be able to decide what is going to happen. And maybe there will be changes within those 90 days. We'll wait and see. But anyway, we're still waiting for Boris to make a decision. Anyway, interestingly, local story. Zakynthos police arrested a 65-year-old man on Monday morning using information from an ongoing investigation. The 65-year-old native was arrested in an apartment in the centre of Zante town, where about half a kilo of cocaine, half a kilo of hashish and 3 weapons with ammunition were found and confiscated. Now, the 65-year-old had been of interest to the authorities in the past. It's also reported that he was a relative of one of the perpetrators who was remanded in custody last week during the shooting in the area of the street near the Cateo. So again, ongoing crime is being sorted here on Zakynthos. Still waiting to see what will transpire from the police investigation into the shooting of last week, and also the ongoing investigation that's still going into the murder of the businessman Dimis, who was gunned down in Zakynthos about 4 weeks ago. Anyway, interestingly, the Greek Minister of Civil Protection, Mr. Klariodis, announced that's it with organised crime. We are having a war. Now, his comments came after another mafia-style execution of a boxer in Vari, Athens, who was shot in his car. This came after a 32-year-old Albanian national was also shot dead in a coffee shop in Spelia, which is in the west of Athens, and that occurred on Sunday evening. Now, in a public statement, I'm going to sort of read this statement to you. He said, these savage crimes are justly disturbing public opinion, he said. Because we're not used to them, it's always from zero to a very little. But that's it. Greece did not suddenly become a country with reduced security for its citizens and tourists. We remain firmly at the end of each relevant UN and European lists, which are relevant indicators on crime. He also said, recently I submitted to the Supreme Court prosecutor a study with specific data on the development and structure of organised crime. The first danger from organised crime is not what it seems. As with terrorism or with Golden Dawn's activities, that's a political party, the fascist party here in Greece, the main danger is from what is not visible and concerns democracy. He then further clarified that organised crime has no ideology references, but has a lot of money and has long since begun to legitimise itself in business activities. It is how it enters institutions. We have a question of what is described as a normal mafia. Now, democracy must respond organised, united and coordinated. Anyone looking for party benefits, scaring people and confusing murders with universities saws the branch we're all standing on. Now, by that reference, what he's talking about is that police are not allowed onto university campuses, and university campuses have been a kind of a hotbed for crime. This is according to statistics and figures that have been released from the police, and also an area where anybody who breaks the law can technically run and hide and basically use it as a form of escape from the police authorities. Anyway, the minister then went on to further clarify anyone who talks about the Wild West, anyone who's ironic about hails of bullets and movie titles, to conclude that they don't need police in universities, they don't understand, and out of habit, he's in danger and he's a populist. Here we have a snake's egg. Let's not let it, blinded by little ones, become our nightmare. At the same time, the police are not short. In the last 2 weeks alone, checks have been carried out on 65 shops and 25 targeted businesses, and checks online and on nighttime hangouts. Checks are continuing and are being strengthened with patrols in neighbourhoods in the centre of Athens, and also being reinforced to enhance citizens' sense of security. With organised crime, no one is in doubt we're going to have a war, but just the police, but not just the police, but democracy. The sooner we figure it out, the sooner we will win. So there you go. Very stern words there coming from the Minister of Protection, basically saying that the police are stepping up their game. They are actually trying to dismantle organised crime within the country. You might remember a couple of weeks ago that I did report on a secret dossier that had been compiled where they basically were targeting businesses that were known. Also as well, that they also have what is called a secret prosecutor, who is somebody whose identity is being kept a secret, so that he will be leading the fight against the organised crime. And it'll be interesting to see how that actually fares as well. Again, Zakynthos at the moment, we've had a bit of it happening here. What with the shooting of Dimmy, also the fact we had the shootings as well last week, and again it doesn't bode well for the public image of the island, and also the public image of Greece as well. And obviously when we look at what's going on in London and the problems that they're having there, we don't want to be seen as to be as dangerous as what London is at the moment. Anyway, and finally, some good news, all right, some happy news. Interestingly, I don't know if you know this, but this might be for people who live here on the island or people in Greece who might just want to get away from the tourists when they eventually arrive. But Greece has some very interesting, very secluded little islands with populations that number under 200 people. So for those looking for a nice little getaway, in fact, some of these islands are so small that, believe it or not, the actual main mode of transport is a donkey, as it was probably hundreds of years ago, because you can't even get a car on those islands. Now, incredibly, these islands are starting to be named, and I'm going to tell you about two of them. The island of Marathe, that has only 5 inhabitants who live there all year round, making it the most secluded of Greek islands. Now, this enchanting little island has only a few hundred square kilometres. It's located east of Patmos, which is in the Deccanese, and the island has a completely untouched coastline. Now, it's inhabited by the Emilios family, who actually date back to 1977, where they created a little small hotel and a restaurant for visitors who can stop by the island during the summer months. Now, another little location as well is the island of Erakia, which has a population of about 141 inhabitants, and it's perfect for tourists wishing to explore nature and history. Now, this island is located between the islands of Naxos and Los, and you can actually get to that by ferry from Athens very, very easily. Now, this small, secluded little Greek island has only just over 100 inhabitants, and has a real draw in that it has the biggest caves in the Kallides. And beside this, the island also has a rich history, has been inhabited since early antiquity, and it also has many mysterious rock paintings that date back over 5,000 years. So again, if you get the chance to visit any of these little places, because obviously you might not be able to leave the country or go anywhere outside without incurring lots of paperwork to fill in, lots of vaccinations, maybe quarantine as well, maybe you might want to look inward in Greece and explore. And I've noticed that Asa Bricknell is tuning in from Athens. Nice to have you looking in this morning. So let's have a look at who's looking in today. Well, so nice to see you, Asa, tuning in. Cy Grinley, also from Wendover in England, is also tuning in as well. Wendy Norcliffe is watching. Melanie Thompson, Rachel Hampson, Wiggy Winstanley from Wigan, the ambassador for Wigan in Limassol in Cyprus. He's tuning in at the moment. Lovely to see you. Nice to talk to you this morning as well, big fella. Delia Guzzetti, that is the daughter of Dennis. She's also tuning in as well. Lovely to have you looking in. Maria Hallberg is tuning in as well. She said to me yesterday about the new pensions enticement for people from the Scandinavian countries. She might retire to Greece. I think it's on her plan at some point once she can retire. Anyway, Heather Nash in Birmingham is tuning in as well. Who else have we got? Janet Cooney is tuning in as well. Nice to see you looking in, my darling. give you a wave back as well. And also Fiona, I've lost you there, Fiona. Crumbs. It's doing, morning, Ginge, still boasting here in Swansea. They're having good weather over in Wales by the looks of it. I'm not sure who sent me that little message. But anyway, Emma Mark, who is watching as well. Heather says, morning, mate. It's beautiful weather here. Hope Jane has a good day. So do I, because she's back to work today. And again, she's quite excited, but she's not exactly sure what her job is going to be. But at least she's got a job. At least she's working. And she's just, again, back to work and back into the fray. So again, it's kind of unusual at the moment. A lot of people are kind of out of sync at the moment, because I've never known 2 seasons where we just don't really know what the hell's going on from one day to the next, and we just have to wait and see how things are made. Decisions way above us are made that really do affect our lives. Anyway, cheers for that, Heather. Emma Mark, who says, morning, Ginge, been missing your broadcast due to being so busy. So now back to watching. Have a great day. Cheers for that, Emma. Once again, just to remind you, if you can't watch me live, don't forget the show is either on Facebook as it is recorded, and it also goes onto YouTube as well, and you can catch up on YouTube. And once again, you can also cross-reference any story on YouTube as well. There's always a menu as to what is said in each program, and I use it as a great reference to cross-check what has been said around the news, because again, as you know, news just keeps moving and moving and moving. So thank you for that, Emma, and thank you as well to those people who do privately get in touch with me. I do get people phoning me up and asking me questions about what's going on, and also I do know people do make decisions as to what their moves are going to be just from watching these broadcasts. So again, I take that as a great compliment that you kind of see what Ginge has to say about it before you make your decision as to what you're going to do. All right. Anyway, just a quick one for you. You may have noticed that I put up a message to say that on Wednesday, when I normally do my Requests and Inspiration show that goes out at 3 o'clock in the afternoon UK time, which is 5 o'clock here, I'm going to rest that show now. And because of the restrictions in bars, I'm actually going to broadcast live from Studio 1 here in Macardo, directly to Magdalena's, and the show will go out obviously online so that you can watch the show, listen to the music. However, in Magdalena's you'll see the pictures, but you can only hear the sound on your own personal device. So we're not breaking any rules on live music or anything else like that. And just see how that goes, all right? Because with the restrictions in place, obviously I can't work in the venue. So Dennis will have my stream up on the screens in the venue. You can sit there on your phone or on your tablet or on your laptop, which you're quite entitled to do. There's no rules against that, as long as the venue's not playing music. Doesn't matter if you've got your phone out and you're listening to it either on your headphones or on the little loudspeaker. I'm going to be broadcasting on Wednesday night. The show will start at 9 o'clock my time, which is 7 o'clock your time, and I'll be broadcasting till 11 o'clock local time here, which will be 9 o'clock your time. And come and join me, and it'll be Requests and Inspiration style show. It'll be a music video selection style, as we have done, and I shall be looking forward to doing that. And somebody just sent me a message, when is the next announcement regarding music in venues? Do you know what? We just don't know. I'm hoping Mitsotakis will at some point this week clarify what he plans to do. It is now the 1st of June. I'm hoping that maybe by Friday we may get further clarity on the restrictions within bars. One, against people going inside bars, That's a problem at the moment. People are only allowed to be outdoors. And also, it is a bit chilly at the moment at night. So it's not good for tourism that it's a bit chilly at night. We're lucky we got patio heaters, etc., etc. But again, that needs to be cleared up. The curfew needs to be extended. At the moment, it runs till 12:30. We'd like to see that curfew run till a lot later, obviously. And also, we want the music ban to be lifted so that at least you can have some life activity, a bit of noise inside, as you would normally do. To sit with silence in a bar is just kind of, it's like you say in church. It just doesn't seem right. Well, at least in church you've got a bit of singing going on. But anyway, we will wait and see. Anyway, I've just had a message from Heather. Me and Gary will tune in Wednesday at 7. Bless you. I shall look forward to you tuning in. And again, if you want to pass any messages on to Dennis and also the staff as well, you can do that on Wednesday as well. And I shall look forward to that. So don't forget, Wednesday night, it's Studio 1 to Magdalena's broadcast. A bit of cheeky fun, shall we say, a little bit of a cock of the snoot to the authorities to just basically, just to put a bit more life and also a bit of fun as well. And also, hopefully, the authorities will realise some of the rules that are in place are ridiculous. Oh, and just a quick one for you. The gyms did reopen yesterday. I did notice people standing outside. Big shout out to Andy P, who was standing outside the gym. I don't know whether the restrictions were really what it meant to go inside, but hopefully somebody will tell me how the gyms are getting on at the moment and the restrictions with mask wearing, etc., that's going on in there. Right, that's it from me. I've just got a little message here. Positive vibes from the UK for Thursday. Hoping we get to green, get green to go. True as well. I hope we do get green to go. I've not heard about Thursday being a day, but we'll wait and see what Boris has in store. And I'm hoping Boris is not going to get swayed by his advisors who look like they want to shut everything down till at least the 21st of June. But anyway, we'll wait and see. Fingers crossed it will go ahead. Anyway, once again, thank you for your continued support as well for the broadcast. It's greatly appreciated. And again, I'll keep my ear close to the ground and we'll see what transpires and what happens. You have a good day wherever you are in the world, and I'll keep my ear to the ground. Ta-ra, catch you soon. Bye.